Good morning, everyone. How is everyone doing on this Sunday, rainy Sunday morning? I'm doing pretty good. I just got up and I heard the rain coming down. I ate myself a tuna fish sandwich for lunch. For breakfast. It was delicious. And I was gonna make some coffee, but I said no, I'll just drink some water for now. So I drank me some water, and I had wanted to go out today, but obviously it's raining. I don't know for how long, but it's supposed to be coming down pretty good. And last night, look at this. See that on my table? How my table is? Well, last night I had went to bed. I had talked to my sister for a very long time, and then I took a nap. I went to bed, and I woke up. I must have laid down about 6 o'clock, and then I woke up about 9:30. And I got up. The reason I had gotten out of bed was to go to the bathroom. And so when I came to the bathroom, I heard this drip, the drip, drip, drip from up there. This problem I've had before, but I haven't had it in a long time. I don't know if you could see that ceiling up there. That's where the leak was coming from, y'all. Right up there. And I mean, my whole table was covered with water. Not the whole table, but I'll say this area, okay, from here to here. But you know how how it drips, it splatters. And it was splattering over here on my chairs. I said, oh my goodness. Let's see if it feels like it's dry now. And it had gotten so bad. Oh boy, I'm in the dark. It had gotten so bad until it was all on the floor. I mean, it was a big mess over here that I had to clean up last night, from that. And so I got towels. I got a towel out of there, and I tried to move everything over, on the table over that way because there was no water on that end. And thank goodness Alexa wasn't over here. Hope she don't say nothing just because I call her name. But I mean, I had a time. I really did. And I had finally, I went and got my little foot tub that used to be a dishpan, and I put that there, and it was dripping so hard until it was dripping up out of the dishpan. Because I had already laid one of my thick towels down there. Matter of fact, the towel got soaking wet. Well, this is the first thing I grabbed to try to soak up the water off the table. And so the towel's in the bathroom drying off now. But I'm going to wash it, before it gets sour or something like that. And so that's going to be later on. I'm not going to wash this early in the morning because it's 6:30 in the morning right now. And so I got the dishpan and put it on top of the table, and it still was popping out and, splashing out. And so I got some paper towels and try to wipe up the splash that was on the table because I didn't want to destroy my table, which I mean, I don't think that table would mess up that quick just for, some water being on it. But still, I didn't want it to soak in, taking no chances for it to soak all in inside of the wood. And so what I did was I put like a washcloth, a sort of heavy washcloth, inside of the pan so that it wouldn't splash. That helped it a little bit, but it didn't help it enough. And so I got paper towels. I'm telling you, I was having a time in here about 9:30, 10 o'clock that day. Last night. I grabbed paper towels and put those over in there, in the dish pans. I'm trying to stop it from splashing up out of it. Yeah, and my little dish pan that I used to use, a little blue one. I don't know if you ever seen it or not. I use it for a mop pail now, but it's about that high. Yeah, and it was still splashing up out of there. I said, "Wow!" And then I had to get the mop and mop the floor. Mop the all that water that was on the floor over there. And I said, Lord, please don't let it get on my draperies. You know, my curtains. I guess these are curtains, not draperies. And, you know, some of it got on the edges of the drapery, but I guess I caught it before it got real bad. Oh, boy, the old girl was having a time. And so while I was up, I decided to check on my video that hadn't uploaded for 80 days. And guess what they told me? They said it was unable to upload it. And told me something other else and something other else I had to do. And so I had to cancel. They canceled it. I didn't cancel it because, you know, I was letting it go. I was going to let it run its course because it only needed 2% more before it uploaded. And they canceled it because they said they were unable to do it. And they give you, you know how they give all of this explanation. You know, you got to read a freaking book before you get, and then you still don't get the understanding. Just like YouTube. I don't understand YouTube right today. And it's honest goodness truth. And I've been doing YouTube for over 4 or 5 years. I think it was 5 years they said I had been up there. And I still don't understand YouTube. And all this unnecessary writing they give you, you need a college degree. You better go to school. Go back to school if you want to learn YouTube, I'll tell you right now. And so they gave me all this stuff to read, and I said, oh, the heck with it. You know, it was on my new phone, as I said before. It's on this phone. I still had the video is still on the phone, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get it off. So I'm gonna try to see if I can upload it to a folder or something like that to my computer. I'll tell you, I was having the time of my life last night. Don't tell me I don't have no excitement in my life. I sure had some last night. Oh, yes, I did. I had some all day because I talked to my sister for about 6 hours. Wow. She want to know if I want to go to Walmart on Monday. I said I might. I said, I have to let you know. Because I got them inspectors. Remember I told you the inspector came to my house. I told them I wasn't expecting them and all this kind of stuff. So they rescheduled me, gave me another date for the 31st. What the day is the 27th? I might go to Walmart tomorrow. I might. Who knows? So I told her I'll let her know if I'm going or not. So how is your weekend going thus far? You heard about my weekend. But you know what? I got I'm telling you, I was running back and forth. And believe it or not, my leg wasn't bothering me. I had to run to the bathroom, come back from the bathroom, go in the kitchen, come back from the kitchen. I was having the time of my life. Yeah. But I said at least I had a little bit of excitement in my life. But if you want to call that excitement, that's what I had last night. But I mean, you know, it's depressing. It was depressing in a way of speaking because I didn't want to clean up all that water, okay? But thank God, it was it wasn't real brown, but it had like a light, very light tint. If you looked at it really close, it was like a light tint. But before, when I had that leak coming down from out there, it was like a dark brown. And I said, dark brown, where is that coming from? Is it coming from the bathroom? But I think my neighbors upstairs, I think their kitchen, it's got to be like where my kitchen is. It's not the bathroom. I'm pretty sure it didn't come from their bathroom. I don't think. No, no. Whatever, it didn't smell. I know that. Only thing that smells in here is my trash in the kitchen. And I ain't going to take it out because it's raining outside. But I got it covered up, you know, sort of tied up. So I won't smell it until hopefully Monday, tomorrow. I'll be able to take it out. Me and my slippery, slopery fun. So what are y'all doing today on this rainy day? Are you going? I don't know why I keep putting these glasses back on. Are you going to attend the services this morning in the church? Oh, I think I'm gonna listen to if I stay up in time because I got a feeling I'm gonna be going back to bed because I've been up since 9. What time I said? It's about 9:30. I don't know if I fell asleep. I might have felt falling asleep maybe for another half an hour after I went back to bed. But for the most part, I was laying up. I was watching all kinds of stuff on the YouTube. I like to watch the what you call a roller coaster rides from all these different countries and stuff. And then I was watching something about a dam. It was like a dam that they said they had just released. I forgot where that was at, but that was something. And then I was watching something else about how they had drained the water from Niagara Falls. I was like, huh? They drained the water from Niagara Falls? How the heck did they do that one? But anyway, that's what they said. They had drained the water from not this dam though. I think this was a totally different thing. I don't know if that was somewhere in Japan or where it was at, but anyway, it wasn't over there in Niagara Falls. But they said they had actually. But I'm just saying, some of the things that I had watched. Yeah, and then I watched the bullet train, the one that goes, I think that was in Japan, shows how it goes under the water and it's in a tunnel. It has to go through a tunnel for 22 minutes. Can you picture that, y'all? You in the train, in the bullet train, and you're in the tunnel for 22 minutes. Yeah, I was watching a lot of crazy stuff, that interested me last night. And then there was a lady, she had her ring phone and she saw a ghost on her ring phone. Oh, shoot. I said, oh, heck to the no, 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 I ain't trying to hear it. It was quite a bit of stuff that I was watching. And then I was watching how to transfer your t-shirt into something else. I don't know. I did see one lady that I liked the way she did her t-shirt though. I said I was gonna try that. She had the stripes, like all cut up here, all these are cut up, and then she tacked them together. But I said I would just leave them like that. Anybody got time to be sewing nothing by hand? And then this other lady, shoot, boy, I guess y'all said I was watching some stuff. I really was. I was watching it all. I was watching Pop the Balloon. They had a guy up there. He said, well, he was a lady, I guess, but he trans him to be a man. And I didn't know he was a man, trans, until the very bitter end. But he got him a date. Yeah, one lady she had a date, and he picked the lady up at the end, and the lady had a thong on. Oh no, she did, and she had. And she had like a tennis skirt on. You know how short them tennis skirts are, and you could already see part of her. She was kind of plump, and you could already see part of her butt cheek hanging out from under that little tennis skirt she had on. And then he picked. Well, it was a she. Well, no, it was a he. Well, she was transformed, so I guess they call him a he, I guess. I don't know, y'all. I ain't the one to answer that question. I had to ask God. I ain't got nothing to do with that part. But he picked her up. He said, he was glad that he finally got to the point that he could pick a lady up. He had said that to another lady, that he had been talking to. They had, asking questions to. And then at the very end, this lady decided that she would go on a date with him. And then he picked her up and her whole butt came out. I was like, oh, wow. I did have a good evening though, y'all, right by myself, I'll tell you too. I enjoyed my evening, as you could probably tell. Except that part when I first discovered all that water over there. Oh man. I said, I don't know. I just don't know. So I guess I'm gonna have to tell them that I had a leak. It had been a long time since I had a leak. And so now it seems like it's starting, again. I think it rained it had to rain in order for it to leak. But the weird thing is, I have 2 more floors on top of me. So it has to be coming from where? The way this apartment is made, I'm on the bottom. There's another floor, another floor. The second floor person has 2 floors. They come up to their second floor apartment, and then when they get ready to go to bed, they got to go upstairs again to go to bed. So that's 2 floors that are over me. I can't figure it out, y'all. I don't know. I'll tell you the truth. I can't figure it out. But anyway, I'm not going to sit up here and jibber jab all morning, y'all. I'm glad I was able to talk to you this morning, and I hope that, heck, I'm able to upload that video that I've been talking about. It's not a great video. You know, none of my videos are great videos, but it's the principle of the thing. You know, like when you put some time into something, you know, you want to see some results. And so I want to see some results. And I think I should order myself another tripod instead of complaining about this one. But I'm too cheap for that. But I tell you what I did order yesterday while I was on the phone talking to my sister. I ordered, I had hung up from her, I think. But I was on Amazon because me and her was looking at Amazon together, certain things on Amazon. But I had ordered me a phone charger. You know, the one you get the flashlight, you got the solar, you get 2 parts. There's 2 parts of it. And so I got to thinking, oh my goodness, I said, now, if I get into a situation that I don't have no phone, which I've never had it happen, yeah, I've never had that to happen thus far. I've always had my phone, my lights. I have had my lights to go out maybe a couple of times, but they didn't stay out long. I think the longest they stayed out was one night. It stayed out all night long. But I was good because I had my emergency radio, which I left in my other apartment, and I wish many times afterwards that I had brought it with me. It was one of those big, it was like this. And one of the elements, that's the lights. One that light up like what do you call those things? The long fluorescent. I guess fluorescent lights. I can't think right now, y'all. It's too early in the morning. I can't think early in the morning. And I had left that over there. And that particular night, my granddaughter was living with me at that time. One of my granddaughters was living with me at the time. And she said, "You're going to be all right." Because she went out with her boyfriend. She was, in her 20s. I said, "Yeah, I'm fine. As long as I got me a light, I'm good. I ain't got no problem with it." And so I had that, that emergency thing. It's something like one of those little radios, the radios with the weather bands on them, but something like that. But it was just so big. It was about that big, y'all. Maybe not tall as that over there, but I would say about 2 feet tall. Yeah, and I wish a million times, like I said, that I had kept it, that I hadn't left it in that apartment. I'm quite sure somebody, if we would have seen it, they were glad to get it. And so I had that, and I had candles. Of course, I don't like to burn candles. Not unless it's got to be a dire emergency, and I got to be wide awake the whole time. I can't lay around and have no candle burning while I'm sleeping. I don't like anything burning when I'm sleeping. Except my oven. I'll leave my oven. I have an electric oven, so electric stove. So I will put my oven on sometime if I'm cooking a piece of meat or something like I'm baking, especially in the holidays. If I'm baking a piece of meat or something like that, turn it down low and that meat be tender, 250, keep it like that until I get through my nap. And on that note, y'all, I think I'm through with talking. Looking at me, I can't even talk. I think I'm tired. I think I gotta go back to bed. 7 a.m. going back to bed. Probably sleep a couple hours and get back up and hope and pray that the sun comes out, which I don't think so. And that's about it. I don't know what's gonna happen today. I don't know if the rain is coming or it's gonna snow or what the situation is, y'all. Let me see. Oh, I can't cuss on no Sunday morning, y'all. it's a little too early to cuss anyway. Just in case, you know. Let's see. Oh, man. Let's see. Hold on, y'all. Let me get ready to hang up the video because I'm getting tickled. I'm getting silly. What's that at? Sunday. 78 is going to be, let's see. Rain. Oh, it's going to rain, children. It don't say nothing about rain this afternoon, though. A little cloudy this afternoon, and yeah, but it's gonna be raining. It's gonna be raining on and off for the morning part, so I might get a chance to just go out for a ride or something this afternoon. We shall see. Cause I'm thinking about a chicken pot pie myself. Let's see what's going on out here, y'all. Cause it sounds like it's raining. It sounds like it's pouring out here. Let's see. And it is. There you have it, though. I still got my porch light on. There you have it. Coming down pretty good, too. Yeah. Yeah, that's supposed to go on until about 12. Good sleeping weather. So that's exactly what I'm getting ready to do. I'm getting ready to go to sleep. And on that note, I go with love. And I'll see you again soon.